This is problem 7-110 from section 7.1.7. For angle theta in the third quadrant, cosine of theta equals -12 over 13. Use this information to find each of the following values without using a calculator. Sine of theta and tangent of theta. Okay? So we're first going to draw this shape in here, this triangle. So I'm in the third quadrant. Okay? The third quadrant is down in this area. Okay? So here's my triangle, cosine, draw my triangle in here. Okay? Cosine is -12/13. And that's my horizontal distance from the center. Okay? It's negative because I'm to the left of center. And that's all I know. I don't know the angle here. I don't know this angle, not that that would really help me, it would help me find the other missing angle, but I don't know those angles. All I know is the cosine of the angle is worth -12 over 13. I do know always that my radius is going to be worth 1 right here. Okay? Right, our radius, if we think about the screamer, is going to be worth 1. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my Pythagorean identity to find out that missing side, which this side right here would be the sine. Okay, it would be sine of theta. It's the vertical distance. It's the height. So I know cosine of theta squared plus sine of theta squared equals the radius squared. Okay, cosine is -12/13. I'm going to square that. Plus sine of theta squared, I'm going to find that out, equals 1. Okay, so let's square these things. So I have -12 squared is 144, 13 squared is 169, plus sine squared equals 1. So I'm going to try to solve for sine of theta. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 144 over 169. I could know this is really 169 over 169. So now it's really like I have 169 minus 144. Alright, keep everything in fractions. That's the most exact values. So if I subtract that, I'm going to end up having 25 over 169. And I want to know the sine of it, not the sine squared, so I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So, this typically when I take the square root, I have plus or minus. So what we need to do is think about what value it's going to, what sign it's going to be. So let's actually calculate the value, the number of it first. So the square root of 25 is going to be a 5. Square root of 169 is 13. Now, look at this. It's either plus or minus. We need to figure that out. If I look up at my circle again, it's in the third quadrant. This distance right here is below the ground. So that means it's going to be a negative value. Okay? So I know my sine of theta is really going to be -5/13. That's going to be my sine of the angle. We don't even need to know the angle. We just want to find the sine, or the height of it. So because it's going down, it's underground, it's going to be negative. So that's part A. Part B wants us to find the tangent of the angle. Now what we learned is the tangent is sine divided by cosine. Okay? So we know both of these. We found the sine, we were given the cosine. Sine was -5 over 13. Cosine was -12 over 13. So to get rid of this fraction inside of a fraction, I'm going to multiply by its reciprocal. Times 13 over -12. This cancels out on the bottom. 13 cancel out. So my tangent of the angle, whatever that angle is going to be -5 over -12, which is really 5/12. Okay, so that's the tangent of the angle. Okay, so I know a negative divided by negative gives me a positive. So what I'm going to do is use my Pythagorean identity. When I'm given the sine of something or the cosine of something, I know the radius is worth 1. I was given the cosine, so I can find the other trig functions that I'm missing using this Pythagorean identity right here.